All right, PEZ fans, it's 5 o'clock somewhere in the world, and that means it's cocktail hour. So if there's one thing I got out of the last 2 years of pandemic pandemonium, it was drinking more cocktails. And I've long been known as a lover of Negronis, for sure my favorite cocktail, bar none. But I decided in the last couple of years that I would amp up my cocktail game and just see what I could do to improve and appreciate some of the other classics, the martini, the margarita, the daiquiri, and of course, the old-fashioned. Now it's one of my favorites, I gotta say. So what I thought I would do in this video is, hey, give you a quick tour because I perfected an old-fashioned. I call it the PEZ Cherry Old-Fashioned. So I like to start with a nice rocks glass. It's called a rocks glass and often called an old-fashioned glass, but this one's got a nice heavy bottom. It feels good in your hand. I think all of these classic cocktails, they're booze forward, they're boozy. I love that, but it's gotta feel good in your hand. You gotta know you've got something tasty in there. Inside, it's a bourbon drink. So what I'm using is Basil Hayden's bourbon. I admit I don't know enough about bourbons yet, but I have long been a Scotch drinker, so I do like whiskey. Bourbon is made from corn mash. It's a little bit of a sweeter whiskey, and that's one of the great sort of characteristics of the old fashioned. So I always start with a 2-ounce pour, put it straight into the glass, and after that I start to mix in the rest of the ingredients. So number one ingredient here for my cherry flavored liqueur, cherry flavored old fashioned, is the Luxardo Maraschino liqueur. I put in a half an ounce, not a full ounce, a half an ounce, because I don't want this thing to take over the drink. It's still got to be a bourbon drink. We got to remember that. So a nice half ounce of that goes in. Wow, when I started doing this, I really was like blown away by how good this flavoring is. Now, the other thing that I've been doing, and really because orange is part of the classic old-fashioned recipe, I didn't want to get far away from that. So I use a little bit of Cointreau. You could use Grand Marnier or any other orange-flavored liqueur. I happen to have that in the bar. I put in a half ounce. But the recipe does call for a little bit of sugar. I like to use agave syrup. It dissolves a lot easier in the drink, I find, which means I can get to drinking it faster. Finally, the bitters. Essential ingredient in the old-fashioned. I found these Fee Brothers cherry bitters and orange bitters. So I go with about 3 drops of each into the drink. One thing I've learned over the years is you cannot over bitter your drink because it will be disgusting. And I've seen bartenders, they're just shaking away with the bitters. It's way too much. No, it ruins the drink. It's got to be a balance of flavors in that glass. So that's really critical. And it took me a long time to actually figure out the right amount of bitters to put into this thing because I was constantly going too deep. Give it a nice little stir. Make sure that agave syrup dissolves. You want all those flavors mixed in there. Now, in terms of cooling this down, nice ice, I like to add a glass full of ice cubes. You can often use, and you'll see these, the big, large, round sphere cubes or a big square cube. Looks awesome in the glass. The main difference I find is that smaller cubes will dissolve a little bit faster and dilute the drink a little bit quicker, which some people like. Some people like that balance of flavor. Finally, garnish it with a nice, healthy, juicy, ripe orange. First thing I like to do is get a really good zester. If you don't have one at home, get it, essential ingredient for the bar. And then I like to do a nice big pull of orange zest right into the drink. What that does is it sprays out some of the oils, the natural oils in the lemon peel. They land on top of the drink, give it a beautiful aroma and a nice flavoring as well. And then I go a little bit further. I give it a nice squish from this juicy, ripe orange. Wow. I'm getting thirsty just watching this video and talking about it. Give it a good stir. You want those things balanced out, mixed up nicely, and we are ready to go. One thing you could also do is garnish it with one of those little cherry guys. I actually didn't have any on this one, but don't use the atomic cherries. Go to an Italian store, get the real Italian cherries that are in a jar. It looks kind of like a jam. But that drink, there it is, the old-fashioned. Delicious, delicious treat. I mean, finding during the winter months, it's a great warmer, great way to start the evening. It's sweet enough. It's a great way to finish the evening as well. Look at that. Wow. What a beautiful drink. Well, cheers, PEZ fans. Thanks for watching this. I hope you enjoy this drink. Try it. Let me know what you think. Love to hear your feedback. Have you got some recipes that maybe I should be trying? Let me know if you do. Drop a comment down below. Be great to hear from you. Enjoy 2022. Enjoy drinking more cocktails. And I've got more of these videos to come too. So stay tuned. There's lots more ahead on PEZ. Bye for now. Thanks for watching.